Students, in this video we will discuss your first chapter, matter in our surroundings. As we know that there are many things in our surroundings. This whole universe is made up of two things only, that is matter and energy. Okay, the capability of doing work is known as energy. While your chapter is regarding matter, then the things other than energy are matter. So here one definition is a matter is defined as anything which occupies a space and has mass. This is the definition of matter. It means a matter has anything which has mass and occupies a space is called matter. For example, you can see many things. For example, table, chair, water, milk, air. These all things occupy a space. That is why these all things are matter. Here now next thing is classification of matter. The matter can be classified on the two bases: physical classification and chemical classification. Okay, on the physical things and chemical properties, on the physical properties and chemical properties. That is why when we classify the matter according to physical properties, it is known as physical classification, and when we classify on the basis of chemical properties, this is known as chemical classification. So here when we classify on the basis of physical properties, it means in physical classification matter is classified into solid, liquid and gas, and when we classify the matter on the chemical properties, it is classified like elements, compound, mixture, etc. So here now next thing, one most important thing is matter is made up of tiny particles. How can we come to know this? For this, some experiments can be done, some activity. You can take some water, suppose 100 ml water has been taken in a beaker and 50 gram salt has been taken, and we can mark here the level. After that, when we take some salt and pour it into the beaker and stir with the stirrer, and slowly we repeat this process again and again, we see that when 50 grams of water 50 grams of salt is dissolved in water, then here there is no increase in the level of water. This shows that this salt particles has been adjusted among the spaces among the molecules of the particles of the water. That is why this activity shows that matter is made up of tiny particles or very small particles, right? We can perform another activity to show that matter is made up of very fine particle, very tiny particle. So here we can see, we take 3 beakers in which in each of the beaker some 100 ml water we take in each of the beaker, and now we drop few drops of potassium permanganate in one beaker, and after some time it is dissolved. Then what happened? When the potassium permanganate crystal is dissolved in here, in this water, the whole water becomes purple, intensely purple. Now we take 10 ml of water and we pour this into the second beaker. Now after some time it becomes purple, but it is lighter than this was than first one. Now again we take the 10 ml of water from second beaker and pour it into the third third one. Then after some time it becomes very light purple. Then this experiment shows that this is most dark, this is lighter than this one first, and this is lightest. Then what by this experiment we can say that even very small magnitude of water contains millions of the particles. That is why this small quantity of anything of the solution give color to the water. It means a small amount of the solution gives purple color to the next water. It means this experiment shows that these things are made up of many millions of the tiny particles, and if the number of the particles are in millions, that is why these particles are very small. It means by this experiment we can show that the material is made up of many tiny particles. In this experiment activity, is very small crystal gives very dense color to the water, and water of first beaker. Then when we take water from first beaker to second beaker, very few amount of water is taken. Then it also gives this water purple color, but it is lighter than first one. And when we take some water from second beaker to the third beaker, then it also becomes purple. This shows that particle is made up of many millions of the tiny particles. Even the crystal of the KMnO4 potassium permanganate was having millions of the tiny particles. That is why this gives the first beaker densely purple color, and when which is distributed in the whole water. When we take some amount of water in the second one, this also these particles are distributed into the whole water, but the color is lighter than this. And again when we take little amount of water from the second beaker, this also makes the third beaker the water of third beaker purple. This is how this shows that a small amount of water, a small magnitude of water contains millions of the particles. Clear? During this reaction is possible. In this condition, this reaction is possible, this activity is possible. And this shows that if the number of the particles is so large, then the particles are very small, right? Now here next thing is diffusion. So first of all we should know what is diffusion. The process of intermixing the particles of two or more substances on their own is called diffusion. The process of intermixing of the two or more substances on their own is known as diffusion. And in the gases, diffusion is maximum, and in liquid it is less than gases, and solid the process of diffusion is least. And this is due to the due to the motion of the particles of the material. In the gases, the molecules are moving very fast. In the liquid, these are slower than that of gases, and here in the solid the motion is least. That is why the diffusion is greatest in gases and least in solid and intermediate in liquids. When we talk about the diffusion in gases, the particles of the gases move with very high speed. That is why the gaseous particles are mixed very fast. That is why that the process of diffusion is very high, takes place with very high speed in the gases, right? Example, when we spray some scent at one corner of the room, the scent of this gas is dissolved, can be felt from the other portion of the other corner of the room. This is why, because the molecules of the scent are mixed with very high speed to the air. That is why it is spread into the environment very fast. And due to this property, we can feel the leakage of the LPG, the smell of the incense stick, etc. Because the particles of these things, the gases which are released from these things, mixed with air very fast with very high speed. When we talk about the diffusion in liquids, the speed of the particles of the gases is slower than that of the speed of the particles. The speed of the particles of the liquids is less than that of the gases. That is why the process of diffusion is slower than that of the gases. And when we talk about the diffusion in liquids, the motion of particles of solid is very less. That is why the diffusion in solid is very slow, and it is slowest. In the gases it is fastest, in the solids it is slowest, and in the liquid it is intermediate. One example of diffusion in solid, that if we write something on the blackboard with a piece of chalk and leave it for a long time, it is found that it becomes difficult to clean the blackboard. It is due to the diffusion of chalk particles into the board. This is the example of diffusion in solids. Now, when we try to know the effect of temperature on the diffusion, we can perform an activity. We can take water in two beakers, and we can boil. We can heat the water of one beaker, and now we drop crystals of potassium permanganate in both of the beaker at the same time, and we see that the beaker in which the temperature is high, the beaker in which hot water is there, the diffusion takes place very fast, and the potassium permanganate crystal dissolves very easily. But in cold water, this process, it takes much time than that of the hot water. This results that, by this we can conclude that diffusion is directly proportional to the temperature. If temperature is increased, diffusion increases. If temperature is decreased, diffusion decreases. Now we can discuss the factor affecting the rate of diffusion. Here there are three factors which affect the rate of diffusion. What are these? Physical state, temperature, and density. Physical state means diffusion also is dependent on the physical state. In gases it is fastest, in liquids it is intermediate, and in solids the rate of diffusion is least. That is why this diffusion depends on the physical state. Now here, temperature. Diffusion is directly proportional to temperature. It means when we increase the temperature, the diffusion increases. When we decrease the temperature, diffusion decreases. Density. Next one is density. The diffusion is inversely proportional to density. It means when we increase the density, diffusion decreases, and when we decrease the density, diffusion increases, right? Now here we can discuss characteristics of particles of the matter. Even whatever we make the particle, if we break the matter and we make the particle, all these particles are made up of small particles. Particles of matter are made up of very, very small particles. Okay. Now particles of matter have a space between them, which is known as intermolecular or interparticular space. Particles of matter are in motion. They are in continuous. They are in continuous motion. Now particles of matter attract each other, due to which in liquids and solids there is volume, right? There is fixed volume. Clear? These are some characteristics of the particles of matter. Now one thing is that the particles of matter are always in motion. This can be understood by some examples, that there are two types of the incense stick. When we take unlit incense stick, we can smell it from near, but when we take the lighted incense stick, its smell can be felt from very far distance. This is how we can say we can smell from near, and also we can smell from some distance. It means this distant position. That is why by this we can say that the particles of matter are always in motion. If we want to know an example of diffusion of solid into liquid, in previous experiments or activity we have taken potassium permanganate crystal and dropped it into the water, and after some time this crystal is dissolved into the water. This is one example. This is an example of diffusion of solid into the liquid. All the particles of matter attract one another with a force of attraction. This is known as interparticular force of attraction. This force is maximum in solids, and this is less in liquids, and this is least in the gases. That is why in the solid it is so high that all the particles cannot move very far. They can only vibrate on their places. That is why solids have definite shape. In the liquids this is less. That is why the molecules can slide over one another. That is why they have not fixed volume. They have also fixed volume, but they can flow, and their shape can be changed. And here in the solids the shape is fixed. Now When we talk about the gases, in this the force of attraction is very less. That is why the volume and shape of the gas is not fixed, right? We can perform an activity. We can take a chalk and a ice cube and a nail. If we try to break, we can easily break the chalk, and it takes some much greater force in breaking the ice. But to break the nail is very difficult task. This shows that in the chalk the particles have less force of attraction. In the ice the particles have more force of attraction than that of the chalk, and in the iron the particles have greatest among these force of attraction, right? And this is why we have to apply forces according to their force of attraction among the molecules. It means the hardness of the solid depends on the forces of attraction among the particles of the substance or solid.